Thanks for joining us. I hope you're going to enjoy this next video as we talk about Disney stuff. If you have enjoyed it, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button, or if you'd like to support us in other ways, check the links below, and we'll see you on the next video.
Hey, John.
Hi, honey.
Why are we dressed up like this today?
Well, it is D23, which is the annual celebration of Disney where they roll out all their future plans. So we thought we'd do something thematic and talk about Disneyland.
Yay! I love Disneyland so much. I've been very fortunate that I've been able to go there several times in my life. And you and I have made, what, maybe 3 trips together?
Full trips.
Yeah.
We're adult Disney
Yeah.
advocates.
Absolutely. I love going to Disney, especially as an adult. I think that's been, I've made I had memories as a kid, but making memories as adults has been great.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to talk about our top 5 list today. What is our top 5 today?
This also came recommended from a couple people to talk about Disney.
That's
stuff,
true.
so.
Yeah. A couple of people said, hey, you should do this. And I was like, hey, we should totally do that.
Good.
So here we are.
Here we are.
And we had the gear for it. So that worked out. I like your Rescue Ranger ears. Those are cute. Song's already going through your head.
I know. Now I'm distracted because I got like heroes.
Well, let's stay back on topic. What are we talking about in terms of top 5 today?
All right. So we're going to talk about our top 5 Disneyland resort attractions. Now I say Disneyland resort because there are lots of theme parks for Disneyland. So rules, because we have to talk about the rules for this one.
I'm ready.
So rule number 1, it can only be attractions. So no food, shows, unless it's listed as an attraction.
Okay.
Which we use the Disneyland app under the attractions tab.
Okay.
So anyone can go on there and look and make sure, double check us. 2, Disneyland includes the Disneyland, OG Disneyland, and Disney California Adventure. Nothing else. No Shanghai, no Tokyo, no Disney World. It can only be Disneyland and California Adventure. And that's it.
That's right.
That is.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Well, let's kick it off.
I did just double check my list to make sure that I'm meeting those criteria. And I'm pretty sure you're not going to find any loopholes to get me on or disqualifications, because
I get like red cards and yellow cards to throw at you. Soccer reference.
Yeah, it totally lost on me. I don't know anything about red and green and whatever cards.
Anyways, you're number 5. I have an idea of where things are.
Okay.
But I'm curious. Always curious. I'm here to learn. I've learned so much about this series. So.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I know a lot of things, but it's been fun to get into some of the surprises. So, with no further ado, I will let you know that my top 5 favorite Disneyland attraction is Radiator Springs, specifically at Disney California Adventure.
Okay. Why?
I have been on that probably about 5 times now, and I love the experience because it's very immersive, for one thing. Even standing outside in the line, you get a great time just kind of enjoying the all the little things that they've kind of built into the ride area and the waiting line. But the ride itself is so much fun because I feel like it combines a roller coaster and a really great, like, calmer sort of ride, because it starts you off going through the different parts of the ride and your kind of twists and turns, almost like if you were in a Fantasyland sort of situation, because those rides are kind of slower like that. And then it's like, okay, now we're ready to get this race going, and you go zoom. And then you really get to see the views of all of the rocks. It's so
Very pretty.
fun. It's so
I
pretty.
wouldn't call it a coaster though.
I'm not calling it a coaster. I'm not calling it a coaster. I'm just saying it has a uh
Okay.
coaster like speed to it because it goes faster than like a
Okay.
Fantasyland ride
Gotcha.
would, right? Because it's not just made for kiddos, it's made for like all ages.
Right.
So, and I think that it's really fun when you get to go inside and, all of the cars have the eyes and they have the mouths moving. And so
Mm-hmm.
you get to really see these characters in real, for real. They're not
Mm.
like just animated anymore for you. I
Mm.
think it really is immersive. So that's why it's my number 5.
Cool. Good choice.
Yeah.
Hey,
What's your number 5?
I don't think you're ready for my number 5.
I don't think I am either. I haven't really thought about what you might pick, but I know
Okay.
most of it's probably Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
There's at least 3 rides on there that are.
Mm. 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 All right. Well, speaking of Star Wars, my number 5 is Star Tours.
Wow, you made it on the only number 5.
Number 5 is my
Interesting.
Star Tours. Yeah.
I would have thought it would have ranked higher for nostalgic purposes,
I
but
thought so too, but yeah, it's my criteria is based on excitement factor. How excited do I feel getting on the ride, even
okay.
before, and then during the queue?
Mhm.
How I feel during the queue, and then when I get done with the ride, do I want to go again?
Mhm.
All those played a factor. So when I was analyzing my list, it made number 5.
Well, it's on there, so that's good.
It's on there. So Star Tours is a 3D adventure
Mhm.
where you're essentially in a box and you're looking at a screen and it moves up and down, left and right, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And it got number 5 because it's a great experience in the queue. I love the theme. I'm big on Star Wars, and I do feel like I'm in a terminal waiting for my flight out of a starport. As
Yeah.
I'm waiting in there, it's absolutely interactive. But then you get to the ride itself, and I feel like I missed the old one, the old whatever 24mm film that it was shot on with Rex and such. I do like the new ones, but the 3D, I feel like it's so fast. It comes and goes really quick, and then the ride's done. Like, oh. I do want more, but there's also, you might get a new scenario, you might not. So
Yeah.
I love the ride, but I couldn't rank it higher. But I did know I was going to give it a number. So number 5, Star
Number 5.
Tours.
Good call. That's a really great ride. I think that one has always held a special place in my heart because I still remember when the People Mover went through that area.
Yeah.
So
and the nostalgia feels.
That is something I so desperately wish. Please, Disney, if you hear this, please bring back the People Mover in Tomorrowland. I beg of you.
We know it's at Disney World,
please.
But it's a long ways away.
I wish the $60 billion that you have received in funding was going towards that. It's my only ask, actually. I love all the other ideas, but that one thing would make me so happy. I think it would just bring back such a different vibe to Tomorrowland. Anyways,
agreed.
But I'll go ahead and talk about my number 4 favorite attraction, and that is Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Snooze. I'm sorry, Jungle Cruise. Go ahead.
Wow.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that. Go ahead.
Figures. Jungle Cruise is become one of my favorite rides actually over the last trips that we've made. Because I don't think I ever really went on it before because it was ironic. It was one of those things that was like, well, if you have a limited amount of time, that's one of the ones you skip, right? And that was kind of a mentality that I grew up with as a kid, which is like you got to hit the good attractions and you got to stand in line for a while. So, and we'd only do one day.
What's your must-have?
Yeah, it was not on there. So it really wasn't until you and I went that I got to experience that ride. And they made a bunch of changes to it a few years ago, which I think are absolutely incredible. I think the changes they made to it are so much fun. But my reason for keeping it in my top 5 is I love the puns. I love the humor. I love the comedy.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. But you get annoyed at my dad jokes, but you like their dad jokes?
Yeah, you're not telling them while we're on a really cool attraction with in a jungle on a
Ugh,
boat in the middle of the
wow.
Amazon. I don't know what you're talking about. It's two different things.
Huh.
Ugh. Anywho, these dad joke type of jokes are brought to life and illustrated for you in the beauty of reality, and I think that they have really a fun thing that sorry, what I'm trying to say is it's really fun because it kind of changes the ride every time you go to because everybody does theirs a little bit different. Um, but I enjoy that ride so much. I think it's just it. When we went last time, I was pregnant, and it was the first ride I went on, and I was so excited because I only had to wait for like 5 minutes, and I was like, "Yeah, let's
It's
go!"
welcome.
And it was a perfect introduction to a beautiful day in Frontierland. So I have to
Frontier.
make
You
it.
mean Adventureland?
Yeah, Adventureland. Sorry, I have to make it on that ride just to get the experience of it. And I love that you feel like you're really in a jungle
Hmm.
in the middle of a theme park.
Okay.
What's your number four?
My number four, you're gonna be happy about this. It's Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion. I wasn't sure if that was going to make it on your list or not.
Yeah, I definitely feel it's a must-have
Hmm.
for most part. And I'm not. I like both the holiday overlay and the OG Haunted
So you're
Mansion.
not going to make like a distinguishing factor there.
No, no,
Okay.
no. I think they're both special in their own ways.
Hmm.
Uh, but it goes back to how do I feel during the queue, the excitement, the actual ride. I have memories from a kid being scared. As a kid, I was pretty scared of this ride. I hated the gargoyles and
Yeah.
the elevator and everything, all that stuff. So I feel it's a good staple to make my list. I'm just kind of going through the whole ride in my head right now.
Hmm.
It's an experience, and that's what you want when you go to Disneyland and you go on an attraction is the experience. And I don't. I think ghosts are not real.
How dare you?
So, but the spooky factor is still there with this. The mystery, I get a chance to maybe suspend my disbelief and enjoy it. And it's fun and zany, the music and, the things that they put in there. Uh, and it's slow. It's a nice indoor chill ride. Uh, so
Yeah,
it's kind of a good break.
absolutely. Well, I'll be excited to tell you about my number three. Uh, that is the Finding Nemo submarine rides.
Mm,
Yes, I think there's a little bit of a theme there between like water rides because it's another kind of boat sort of experience.
that's true.
I
Yeah.
do love water rides, and I think Finding Nemo submarine ride was great back in the earlier days when it wasn't Finding Nemo. I got to go on that when I was a kid, and it blew my
The
mind.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea
It was
theme.
so cool. I mean, it was like puppetry underwater, mermaids and
Yeah.
things like that. Oh, it was so much fun. And I think that the Finding Nemo update was a great choice and really brings it to a whole new level and brings it to life,
Mm.
for sure. Because it has a story now. It has a really great story. You get to enjoy all the characters. I love that the narrator is doing the Australian
Mhm.
exploration. I think it's like this again once they've thought of everything, they thought about how to make it immersive, they thought about how to make it funny, and they thought about how to bring in that little element of danger
Mhm.
because it you get into a volcano and
Mhm.
everything, and getting to look outside the porthole is so much fun. I think I've recorded it now several times just in case.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
the other thing about it is my favorite place in Disneyland is to stand outside of the ride anywhere on that kind of where between the Matterhorn and Finding Nemo and just
Mhm.
hang out there for a while because there's sounds from the Matterhorn, that whooshing noise and the waterfall.
Mhm.
Then you hear some of the water from the waterfall at Finding Nemo, and you hear the mine, 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 mine. It's a good
Yes.
time.
Yeah, the seagulls, which you have the spirit of a seagull.
Mine? Mine? Mine?
Yes.
Mine? Mine?
Yes. It's all yours. Well, speaking of excitement and adventure,
Ooh.
my number 3 is Big Thunder Mountain.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big Thunder Mountain, which is the train roller coaster in Frontierland.
Mm-hmm.
So it meets my criteria. The queue, how I feel getting into the queue. It's not entirely immersive because it is outdoors. There's a lot of ambience, but you do see kind of the old west mining stuff, and we're not close. We're pretty close to a mining territory, so
Yeah, it reminds me just the same thing. It's exactly like,
and then the anticipation of getting up there and walking onto the ride and sitting there and the whole first part of it. And I used to be the roller coaster junkie, but I was young in my younger days. But this one captures a bit of both, where it's like the
mhm.
Cars feel. It's kind of a
Yeah.
coaster, but not a huge thrill coaster. No loops or anything. So
Yeah, you don't have to go upside down. I think that's
no,
a huge plus in my opinion.
and it's something I would do over and over again.
Yeah.
It's one of those rides I have to do at least twice while I'm there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when we were there last time when I was pregnant, that was one of the harder things that we didn't get to do. So I'm looking forward to the next time I get to go back and go on Big Thunder Mountain for sure.
Yeah.
I love that ride. All right, so my number 2 pick is the Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion. I knew that was going to be there. 2, huh?
Yeah, number 2.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. That I think everything you said about it absolutely true, and I think what I wanted to add and about that is that uh I don't really believe in ghosts exactly. It's hard to say. It's hard to describe. It's like, yeah, I believe it could happen. But the thing I love about Haunted Mansion is that if ghosts were real, this is how I want to believe that they exist.
This is the afterlife. Huh?
This is the afterlife. I mean, these guys are having a great time. And I think that thought process is really interesting because it's like, oh, we're not really going for that. Let's scare the pants off of you and the ghosts are trying to harm you.
Right.
The ghosts are there having a great time and you're just a visitor kind of going through and seeing, hey, these guys are having a party in here. What a good idea.
Well, there's 999 happy haunts, and they're looking
Happy
for one
haunts.
more.
Yeah. I think that was brilliant on the designer's part. So, and when we first got to see the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay, that was just
You have a guest.
so delightful. Hi, little Mabel.
Cut.
We're not cutting. Kitty pay.
Okay, we get a kitty shot in here.
Yeah, this is our kitty Mabel. You can't see her because she's a little out of frame right here, but this is our little Miss Mabel. She is named after the character in Gravity Falls, Mabel. We call her Mabel Smells More sometimes.
Sidebar.
Sidebar. But yeah, happy haunts, the Haunted Mansion. It's a must go on for me because I think what you said also, the whole experience of being even outside because they play the music, great. And then when you're there for the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay, it's even more fun because they add even more elements outside to look at, and the music that's playing.
Yeah.
So you get an experience all the way through. And I am looking forward to seeing some of the updates they made to the outside waiting line. It's going to be really fun. I can't wait to go again. And I haven't even seen much of it without the overlay because we haven't been there to see that very often without it. So I'm hoping to see what it's like both times at some point. But anyways,
at the ending, hurry back.
I'm trying.
All right.
All right.
That was your number 2, huh?
That was my number 2. What's your number 2, John?
What is it? What is it? What is it? My number 2, Rise of the Resistance.
That's your number 2? Oh, wow. Anyways, that's going to make your number 1 even more exciting.
My number 2.
Please,
yeah, it was hard.
Tell me. I can't wait.
Yeah, so Rise of the Resistance and Galaxy's Edge, I still remember the first time I went on it. I was borderline tears getting off of it because I was so happy. My inner child, inner Star Wars child, was so happy and glee. Growing up, I wish that there would be a Star Wars land, and here we have Galaxy's Edge, and this ride encapsulates everything you want with Star Wars. Space battle, ground battle, good versus evil, the buildup, being in a base, being on a Star Destroyer and escaping, and everything. It has everything in it. And there's two different routes too. They add a little bit of variety in there.
Oh,
You can
that's
go
cool.
left or go right,
Mm.
and depending on what. But it's such a that is the immersive experience that you want from a ride.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I just go do it. Go ride it. If you haven't gone ridden it, go. If you've already have, go do it again.
Mm-hmm. You can't go on it too many times. It's
It
really
is a
great.
long queue.
No, I mean it's like you could go on it 3 or 4 times and it's still going to be a great experience every time.
There's so many
I
things
love
to
it.
see. That's something that Disney does. Is I remember, every
Mm-hmm.
time you go
Yeah.
back, there's something new to see, and there's so much detail in everything. And even in
Yeah.
the ride, I'm trying to look at every nook and cranny
Mm-hmm.
to see things. I could do a single rider, but you miss out on all the little bits going through the queue.
Yeah.
Feels like you're going into a base. I mean, even the entrance has a turret, like
Mm-hmm.
bear defenses. So
Yeah.
that's my number two.
I love that choice. I think that ride really is so much fun. I can't even put into words
You're not that
exactly
big
how
into
I
Star
feel about it.
Wars.
Well, I'm not like a Star Wars obsessive, but I'm a Star Wars fan,
Yeah.
and that ride really did bring so much joy. Like we had so much fun,
Mm-hmm.
and we were I think the virtual queue was going on, so we couldn't like just ride it over and over again. But that's why we've gone back, I think, more
Mm-hmm.
than we would have because it was like, okay, we need to make sure to get back to Galaxy's Edge, get back to Rise of the Resistance in order
Mm-hmm.
to see it more.
I love that place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Galaxy's Edge, period. All right. Well, that brings us
Ooh, the
to
finale.
my number
Ooh,
one.
I know what it is.
Yeah, you probably do. My number one favorite ride of all time. My whole life, this has been my favorite ride. It will continue to always be my favorite ride. I have yet to have any rides on any rides that will not be
Mm-hmm.
this ride.
Oh,
That
I
I'll
know
be
what it
like,
is.
it is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yo ho, yo ho.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
She sings that the whole time. I'm sorry for anybody that's ridden with us. She's that person.
Yeah, because I'm over here having the best time
You are.
ever. I'm so excited that this ride exists. It always makes me happy. It always brings me joy. I'm always looking forward to being able to get on this ride because I love Pirates of the Caribbean for so many reasons. It's taking you through so many different sections and so you get this whole emotional experience. It's really fun because the beginning is kind of creepy, then you get into it and you get that little dip and the
Mm-hmm.
woo and the splash, and then the cave part of it, it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
quiet and kind of lulls you into
The Blue Bayou's right
the
there. You get the
safety of
restaurant.
it, and you're like, oh, this is kind of chill, and then it gets into like ships firing at each other and pirates doing all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of things, and it's always been a good time. And it's something that I get to experience when I was a kid, so a lot of nostalgia there for me for sure. And I really have to be able to go on that ride in order to be like, okay, I've been to Disneyland. If it's not available and I can't go on it, I'm just like, well, I guess I got to go home then. Bye.
Well, that same trip that we went to, we did rope drop and went on it back to back. We
That was
went on it,
great.
got off, went right back and walked on it again and did it.
Yeah, that was great. I was so excited because the other thing that happened was that the second time we got on it, we got the front row seats. So
Uh-huh.
when you can go get in the front row of the boat, that's awesome. It really makes for such a good time because then you can just like you don't have the people obscuring your view in any way. Just like la la la
Speaking of
la.
obscure views,
I got a kitty tail. I got a kitty tail.
oh
All
Miss
right.
Mabel,
So
my number one, huh?
you are up next, and you have a number one to give us. I think I know what it is, but I thought your number two was
Ooh,
going to be your number one. So now I'm
really?
a little lost.
So what is my number one, huh? My number one, you're definitely not number one. You're more of a number two.
She's your sidekick, your number two.
Hi, BB. My number one is Indiana Jones Adventure.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Man, I
yeah.
got to know how that tops Rise of the Resistance for you.
I think it's the experience. It's the immersive experience. I love, 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 love Star Wars. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, it's not what my top Star Wars ride is, right?
Yeah,
It's my top five attraction. So Indiana Jones,
right, true.
I still remember just being in the queue, walking on that ride. You immediately feel like you're going into the jungle
Mm-hmm.
because it's next to Jungle Cruise. And you're waiting and you just see this temple, just this ominous temple entrance, normal temple entrance. When you get in, you're walking down this labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
And it used to have a lot more interactive features because you're waiting in line. So you had a collapsing roof.
Mm.
You had more newsreels about the disappearance of people going to this temple, and Indiana Jones had to go in to rescue them. And
Mm-hmm.
now you're here to participate in that, but you're also still a tourist. I think when no, I got that wrong. You're actually a tourist doing something against the warnings
Oh,
of Indiana
yeah.
Jones because he disappeared.
Yeah.
But they reopened the temple and
Mm-hmm.
allowed tourists to go back to it.
Right.
So that's what kicks this off as you get into your car. You have Sala there.
Love
If
Sala.
you love the movies, this is total fan service.
Yeah.
And fun fact, it's the longest queue distance wise. I think it's a
Mm.
half mile in and a half mile out. So you're walking a mile
Sure
for
does.
this ride.
It sure does feel like that, I will say.
Yeah.
Because I remember feeling the first time I went on it, like, where is this ride? But I think that that's a good thing because it kind of adds to the experience of
Yeah.
like, man, we're really trekking through this
We
jungle and
really
this
are.
temple. Like, we got to get somewhere
Yeah.
someday.
Yeah, and it's so dark, and the act. And then you get to the ride. That's the climax. Is
Yeah.
the ride is this off-road terrain truck, and
Mm.
you're holding on for your
Dear life.
life. Yeah, as you traverse hell and
Snakes. Why did it
snakes.
have to be snakes?
Yeah, it made my number one for all of those. It is a wild experience. Uh, and my number one.
All right. I think that makes a lot of sense. I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did edge out Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah. Makes for an interesting list because it's just definitely Disneyland has so much to offer these days, and there's so many experiences to have. And I think that for the most part, um, we shared a lot of different, like Haunted Mansion is probably what the only one we have the same of. Interestingly enough,
Yeah,
yeah. I think that I love both of our lists. I think that I'm really hoping to get back to Disneyland this next year, especially because it is the 70th anniversary. So there should be a lot of fun stuff coming
yeah.
when it comes to this year. And I know in D23 they mentioned a bunch of stuff,
So
but that
much
doesn't
stuff.
even include all of the stuff that they're going to do for this year for the 70th anniversary for this park
Yeah.
alone. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm really excited. And I think that our lists have definitely encapsulate a lot of the best of the stuff at the parks. There's a lot that isn't on there, but I think a lot more could be
I
said
know.
for that.
So many. Top five was hard.
Yeah. I need to know what you guys' top five rides are. And I know like a lot of people are Disney World people, so that's cool if you want to share more of your favorite rides at other parks too. But we'd love to hear about your favorite Disneyland attractions, specifically that park. That'd be great.
One day we'll get there.
Yes, absolutely.
So.
All right. Well, that is a wrap for our top 5 favorite Disney attractions.
And the season.
And the season. This does wrap up our top 5 series that we are doing. So there's 5 top 5 episodes. So we'll see what comes next.
What's your top 5? Huh? Hey, I gotta laugh at the dad joke. Take that, Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, you need to work on your material. Well, I think that's it. Anything else you wanted to say for today?
Nope. As we're wrapping up, please hit that like button, subscribe for more zany content. We are going to do some new stuff coming up. But as always, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, physical health. We love you, love yourselves, and we'll see you next time.